All right. Well, it's been a bad technological week for me. So, I dropped my phone, cracked it. Then I dropped my phone in the toilet. So, since it was already cracked, the water seeped in and it ruined the phone. I haven't upgraded my phone for a long time anyway. So, I mean, I've been eligible for a long time. Um, and it's not like I couldn't afford it or I was being lazy. I just don't like, I hate getting a new phone, you know? I don't back my shit up. So every time I get a new phone, it's kind of like it's like moving into a new apartment or a new house or something. I have to transfer all my apps and then I have to download them. And I don't know. I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but my mind is in such a disarray anyway. It's a lot for me. Then my Wi-Fi has always been an issue. I live in a guest house and my landlord has like let us use their Wi-Fi. And then I don't know, a while ago, a few months ago, I got my own plan. But since I'm in a guest house, I have to get it like as a subsidiary of their plan, like a sub plan. Um, and then I like tested it, and it was like I don't know, 100. No. It was like 28 Mpbs or Mbps or whatever the fuck it is, which isn't good, you know. Um, so I called their provider, which is Spectrum, and I said, "Well, like, what should we do? Do I need to get a new router and modem? What's the deal?" And they're like, "Well, we can upgrade it to 940 Mpbs. It's like the best, highest speed internet we have, and you don't have to get a new router or modem. We can just upgrade their existing plan because you guys have so many different devices because we're in the back house." I was like, okay. That was like $200, So I paid that. I was like on the 11th. And then we tested and it's like 103 Mpbs, which is not 940. And I think we needed to get a new router and modem the whole time. But anyway, then it just crashed completely, like, I don't know, yesterday. So I'm recording on this and then I'm going to go, I don't know, somewhere. It's LA. I mean, it's like 24-hour cafes. Well, it's COVID. I don't know. I'm sure there's somewhere that I can go use Wi-Fi. And if I have to like go to one of my friends' houses that has it, whatever the case, I'm gonna try to do that and then I'll upload that. I have a couple videos I've already done, but it's really frustrating. And they're coming out Monday, so hopefully I can get that squared away once and for all. If I have better Wi-Fi, I mean, I'm paying for this upgrade. I had to pay 200 for them to upgrade their plan. Then it's like $55 a month added onto their bill, so my rent goes up by 55, and they cover it, etc. If I had better Wi-Fi, I could do lives more. I could definitely upload more content. I have a hard drive with a whole terabyte worth of shit that I could put up, especially for Patreon. I put like a lot of extra footage and extra stories, and I'd just be able to do it quicker. I could do more lives. So I'm hoping on Monday we get it squared away, and then I can do more because I want to. It's a lot of it's just having shitty Wi-Fi. I can't even do lives anymore. Every time I try, they don't really work out. They always get disconnected. So that's that. And then secondly, I'm doing a new album right now. We talked about it. I already did the story. I don't know. The first one, you guys don't even, I'm doing the breakdown right now. That's what's on the first album. You guys don't even like this story. Well, there's a lot of you that don't, oh, this is boring. Go to prison. Like, damn, dude, just, okay. Here's a very simple solution if you don't like it. I'm going to be in the third prison term soon. Why don't you just watch that if you don't like this series? It's like, I don't know. I just don't get it. If I don't like something, I wouldn't comment on it and be like, this is boring. Who cares about your life? It's like, and this is what I have to say. Anyone that's saying that, I don't know. I say this all the time. I'm telling my life story, and it's not all going to be like action-packed shit. I've done hundreds of videos. Like, if you think it's so lame and boring, start a channel. Let's see you do that. And I'm sure other people are capable of it, but I don't see other people doing that. I see most channels, people have guests, or, they're like, this is how you do sit-ups. and they don't even like have abs. Like, what the fuck? What? Why are you telling me this? Check out this supplement that I use. This is blah. Oh, the link's in the bio. You see shit like that. So I mean, I try. So with the new album, I'm excited because it's a better story. And then I get a lot of new guest appearances. We got a good one today, and we recorded the skit. So now I'm going to try to be doing the skits with people. Like instead of before where it's like voicemails, there'll still be some of that. Like I don't know if I can get Johnny to do another one for this new one, and I got to use the Hunter one, especially for doing like a real, like getting on real platforms like Spotify. I don't want to squander that, on like not my best story that you guys hate. You tell me every day. You're like, I hate your story. Fuck the breakdown. We want to hear about prison. Yeah. It's like, all right. It's coming. So I'm doing new skits. We did one today, and I have an idea. I'm going to have a contest right now. And if you PayPal me $25, $25, because it's expensive to the guy that's mixing it, the sound engineer, he's Grammy nominated. He's expensive. Some of the editing work is expensive. Getting the publishing where you have to like register it so that it's like transcribed and then it's protected so people can't use my material. That costs money. Getting it on the platform, since I'm self-distributing it, that costs money. And then I have to have an attorney clear it all. That's why I got into the trouble with it in the first place, and the timing, it's too long. So this one it's going to be the same length, but we're not putting this out on a CD, and I'm not even going to say I'm going to do that because it's not possible. It's just too long. Then I'm going to do an album of just skits that can fit on a CD. That's the only thing I can do, like 10 skits, not some like 2.5 hour long story like this is. But if you PayPal me $25, I'll do a custom video for you. I don't know, 2 or 3 minutes, just like it was Cameo. But the thing is, I'll do the custom video for you, and then I'll have people on Patreon vote for it. So I'll upload the videos, and then people vote on it, and I'll use the skit with your name on the album. So you like be on the album with all the guest stars that are going to be on it: Boston George, Chong, Johnny, all that. I think that's a good idea. I think that'll help fund it. And, the reason that I'm doing the album in the first place is I'm trying to do my charity stuff, and it's expensive. It's really expensive. Sinister and I are going to be doing our raffle finally, and it's going to be like a whole month where you can buy tickets, but he's raffling off like a lot of 3 paintings and like 3 of his spray cans. Then we have a couple surprises as well. And I'll get that going soon. I'm just swamped with shit. So if you want to be eligible for the album, $25 PayPal. I'll leave the information below, and I'll post all of them, and then people will vote on it, and whoever wins will be on the album. I think that's cool, and it helps fund it. And then once the album comes out, I can actually leverage that money to go towards my charity so that I can actually do this, because it's something I want to do. And no, it's not because I'm thirsty and I'm greedy and want to make money. None of that. I'm good now. I'm comfortable. I've never been a materialistic person. I don't, I'd rather pay my karmic debt, because I have a karmic deficit, and make the world a better place, especially because Paul died, and I feel, I don't know, I have regrets, what could I have done differently, and I just want to do something that helps me, because I'm hurting over it. So anyway, like, comment, subscribe, check out patreon.com/Ryan Leone. All my little thirsty ass pitches and links and shit are in the pinned comments. Thank you. All right, so we're almost done with this series, because I know you don't like it, and I'm sick of hearing everyone be like, you're a bitch. I say that all the time. It doesn't hurt my feelings. You're a bitch. Yeah. You're this, you're that. You're a rat. And I'm like the only one that posts my paperwork. I'm like, guess what? I'm not. I don't see other people doing that. Just saying. All right. So like there's like a couple more. Story definitely gets more interesting in this period. So like I mean, I'm trying to throw this event together and there's a lot of pressure. I'm going crazy. I haven't started with the psychosis yet, but it's just kicking in. And this is a complicated story to remember because I was in the midst of, mental health issues that probably like the equivalent of me being drunk the whole time, but I was in a state of psychosis. And how it started is just having the impending doom, the inflated sense of ego. All of a sudden, I'm the center of attention. People are like cutting my toenails for me. They're like, whoa, I don't know. I think if we do a Taiwanese cut, might look rad. What do you think? I'm just like signing paper. No, it wasn't that to that level, but like in my head, it felt like my dreams were coming true. And all of a sudden I had this like false sense of importance, you know? And you couple that with everything else that's going on. I think it was like just the perfect storm. We found out that the hole in Nico's heart had closed. We went and we had another sonogram. They did the ultrasound and it closed up by itself. So that was a huge relief for us. And that's one of the things that I think started getting my mind racing. I was working out a lot. I was drinking a lot of energy drinks and I wasn't sleeping. I was trying to take on this insurmountable task of putting this event together. Immortal Technique wasn't going to be the music. So now, I mean, we had like a couple days before we had to get the flyers printed. So I was desperately looking for another music act. Talked to Nick and he said he knew some name musicians, people you'd recognize. It doesn't matter because we didn't get them anyway. And he had tried and they were all touring and there were scheduling conflicts. To get big names, you have to have the commitment way ahead of time because of scheduling, you know? So it didn't look like we were going to get anybody. And at that point, Max is like, maybe we shouldn't do this. And even the guy at the theater, I don't even remember his name, but he was like, hey, I'll just give you a refund, for the deposit. Or we can schedule it at a different time. But I had that arbitrary date in my mind. I think the event was going to be December 5th. Where's my little flyer? It doesn't matter. I don't know where it is. I think it was going to be December 5th or my court date was December 5th and the event was going to be the 2nd. That's right. We kept pushing it. We kept pushing the court date over and over again. So it was getting to the point where we had to make a decision, and I had to change my plea. I had to plead something. No contest, not guilty. I had to change my plea and get the process started. We had to make a deal. And I had fired Adam or he quit or whatever the fuck. I don't know. It's a piece of shit anyway. So what was I don't even know what I was doing. I think I was just going to represent myself or something. I don't even remember. But I was also using the fact that we had a falling out to try to buy more time. So, and then my PO was after me. So, all of these things. I already had the falling out with Jerry, Tony, Zach. Bridges were being burned at lightning speed. And Karina my relationship was getting out of control. All we did was fight. And it was just because I was becoming such an egomaniac. I remember specifically we had gone up to Santos' house. He lives up in the Hollywood Hills. And I was smoking a cigarette out on the street. So like, where he lives, there's no cell phone service. It's just like windy roads that if you use a GPS, you can't even really find it because your cell phone will not have service up in this area. And you're just kind of up in the middle of nowhere. So I'm like standing out there smoking a cigarette and this jogger comes by And he's like, "Are you smoking a cigarette?" He had like these tight jogging shorts on. He's probably like, I don't even know, producer or something, something like that. Something to do with the film industry. Just one of these like little dweeby guys that just has an attitude because he probably has like $100 million house or whatever. And I said, "Yeah, can I not smoke a cigarette? I'm 32 years old." He's like, "It has nothing to do with age. It is a fire hazard." I was like, "What the? What are you, Smokey the fucking Bear? I can't smoke a cigarette. Dude, I'm standing on the street. I'm not on your property. You're jogging, dude. Keep jogging. What is me?" He's like, "It is a fire hazard." I was like, "Do you know who I am? Do you know who I am?" And I like didn't have a shirt on, and I like wanted to rip it off, so I just ripped my pants. No, I didn't have. But I like didn't have a shirt on anyway, and I'm like standing there, and I had these like sunglasses, these like special Ray-Bans that I think Zach had bought me that were like, I don't know, $300 or $400, and weren't that much, but I just thought I was like some baller now with my rented minivan and my special Ray-Bans. And all the pictures from that time, you'll see me wearing sunglasses. That's the ones I'm talking about right now. "Do you know who I am? I have security guards inside." And I just start yelling. I'm like, honey, get security. Karina. Now, they're down like this little pathway on this balcony. Santa says this amazing view that looks over the cityscape. They can't hear me. And the guy's looking at me, and he's a little dweeby guy. And at this time, I'm working out. I'm trying to cut. I don't know why. Usually I'm about lifting weights, but I was just trying to get like really cut up. I don't know. That was like my thing at the time. And I was taking kickboxing lessons with my boy Robbie. So I was like really kind of emaciated. My nutrition wasn't good, but I was working out hard and I was taking fighting lessons. So I don't know if I looked too intimidating, but I was like yelling at him, and he's in his little like, his little tight sweat outfit. And I was like, "My security will come here. You don't recognize me? You don't know who I am?" I don't know what I was expecting him to. Oh, wait. Are you the author of Wasting Talent? Oh, my bad, man. Smoke on. I don't know what the fuck I was expecting, but that should give you an idea of like where I was delusion wise. And he just kind of left, and I was like kept smoking, and I started like doing like smoke ring tricks. It was like making like, I don't know. Anyway, so that's just like one of many examples. And then my PO had just made me pee in the well, it wasn't even my PO, it was the PO supervisor. He made me pee in the Del Taco bathroom. And "You're making me nervous. If I get too threatened, I'm going to take my gun out. I'm going to put a hole in your fucking head." Well, I had that on tape. So I leaked it. On top of thinking that I was like some sort of rock star, I started thinking that I was like almost like a Gandhi or Martin Luther King or like Rosa Parks of prison reform. I thought like, I'm not even a person anymore. I'm an emblem, like shit. Like, I'm not even joking. Like, this is like how I was thinking. And I thought, and I started talking like, like really like cool, calm, and collected. "Well, Ryan, what are we going to do?" "I don't know." "Well, I mean, we don't have Immortal Technique now. We don't have a music act. We don't have anything. How are we going to get people to come?" "I think we should sell well. I think you should stop worrying about shit that you don't understand." I thought I was like Jim Morrison or something. I don't know. Mix of Jim Morrison, Gandhi, and some arrogant guy that, "Do you know who I am?" That kind of guy. Axl Rose, we'll throw him in. So I start leaking that tape with my PO, and I'm like, this is going to get their attention. I'm thinking it's going to go viral. I've like, what's the saying go? I've count my chickens before they hatch. You know, people call me like, "Hey Ryan, what are you doing?" I'm like, just waiting to go viral. What do you mean? I don't know. I'm thinking like maybe 30, 40 minutes. Check what's trending on Twitter. Might be your boy, if you know what I mean. No, I don't. What do you mean by that, Ryan? What do you mean you're going to go viral? Why? Why? Well, I may have just leaked a viral worthy video. I got to go. As soon as it goes viral, I'm not going to have time to pick up phone calls, so I got to get some out of the way. Click. Put on my Ray-Bans, you know. This is really how I was acting. I mean, you know, like I joke a lot and I exaggerate and, you know, this is really how it was. I'm starting to get like kind of violent, you know. I don't beat anybody up or anything, but I'm getting really aggressive, you know, and I have pneumonia and I start getting really paranoid. I think that Karina's cheating on me, you know. Um, I think that Jeff's stealing Suboxone from me. We have footage of that from the documentary. You might have seen that in the trailer. And he's like, dude, I didn't steal from you. And I'm like, there were 56 subs. Now there's 55. You think I'm stupid? I don't know if that's verbatim, but, you know, something like I was just paranoid. And I don't know, you know, I remember when the psychosis really kicked in was when we had agreed on my friend's band. So I have a friend, his name's Navarone. I don't even know if I'd call him a friend. I haven't seen the guy since I was like 12. Back then we were friends because we were both little skater kids and we met at summer camp. And his mom is pretty famous, you know. She was married to one of the most famous musicians of all time. She's pretty famous herself, you know. And her son's name is Navarone. And we had met at summer camp and we didn't like keep in touch afterwards, but we were like good friends, but we only knew each other like a week, you know. I think we did like 2 years of summer camp maybe. Anyway, fast forward like years and years and years later, probably in like 2000. So I probably met him like sometime in the 90s, you know, 96, 97, something like that. We were kids. And then I found him on Facebook, or maybe he's like a recommended friend. I don't know. But whatever the case, we had reconnected. And he was in a band, and I asked him if he wanted to play. And he said, yeah, let me check with the guys. He said, is this for sure? I said, yeah. I need to run the Flyers, so I need a commitment. Now, you know, I think he was just like starting out, you know, but like he's playing festivals and stuff, and I had to fill it, so I figured fill it with somebody I know. So I went and I got the Flyers printed, and the Flyers that I got printed were of me wearing a suit and wearing my Ray-Ban sunglasses. Like, I just look ridiculous, you know. I'm like out on bail for pimping, and I like look all dignified with this suit and Ray-Bans. And I remember I didn't even have like a suit to put on, you know, not like a super nice one. I only had like my little like black funeral suit. So we went to Men's Warehouse, and one of the photographers came and like took a bunch of pictures. I remember like a crowd formed outside Men's Warehouse because they like thought maybe there was a celebrity there, and then they saw that it was me and they didn't recognize me and they just kept walking. When I like looked at the manager, I was like, oh, they probably don't recognize me in the sunglasses. If they did, I don't think we'd be able to get out the door. It's probably good I'm wearing them. And I'm like making my little, you know, just like in my head thinking I'm something I'm not. So we get these flyers made, and then the flyer company, I told them, I'm like, do you want me to pay for them? They're like, no, it doesn't work like that. We'll send you an invoice. I said, okay. I said, do you guys make billboards? Because like at the theater, they had these big, huge billboards. They're like 20 feet tall. I don't know about that, but I don't know. They're pretty tall. You know, let's say like 10 feet. That's pretty big, right? I think. And maybe a little more than that. Anyway, it goes like down the side of the building. So I had to make at this flyer place. I had to make a billboard of me in my suit with the sunglasses. I don't even remember. The bill was like 5 or 6 thousand. I was like, oh, I'll pay for it with ticket revenue. You know, So anyway, so then they make this flyer or this billboard of me, and they put it up at the theater. Like people drive by and they just see me in my little sunglasses and suits. Like a call for prison reform with Ryan Leone, hosted by Danny Trejo. Now at this point, Danny Trejo's like we didn't even have him locked in. Like we had his manager saying like, well, he might, and you have to give us a deposit, but it's non-refundable. And if he decides that he can't do it, then you don't get your money back. I was like, oh, that sounds fair. All right. But I had to send money. And of course, comes down to the problem. We didn't have money again. So flyers are made. We get like thousands of them. They're on the way. The first thing that gets printed is the billboard. It goes up on the side of the theater. I remember driving by and I looked at it, and I say, hey, Karina, look at that. And she's just like, oh my God. Oh my God. If your head wasn't big enough already. I was like, do I look all right? She's like, so now like my ego is just running amok. And, I had put together the blow deal. And basically, I wanted to do a documentary, book, and a feature-length film called Sunshine, and then do a documentary about George's daughter, Christina, because she was the emotional crux of the film. I thought that would be a good sequel, maybe from her point of view, and a good documentary, because everyone's like, well, what happened? Did she visit her dad in prison? Everyone wants to know what really happened. And she was going to be speaking at my event. It was the first time she was ever going to speak publicly about Blow, ever. And I'd paid a deposit of like $1,000. So like I had put some money into the event. I think my parents gave me the 1,000. I was like, I need this. I'd throw like temper tantrums, like stick my fingers in my ear. I need Christina Sunshine Chung. You don't care about prison reform, Dad. You're a bitch. I think they just gave me like $1,000. Right? Can you get out of our house now? Okay. Going back to Jeff's. Bye. Mom, can I borrow $40 too? I need cigarettes. She's like, oh, okay. So it's really hard to remember the chronology of this. But don't worry, we're almost done with this fucking series, and then we'll move on to prison. You guys will be like, oh my God. Thank God it's back to good stories again. I don't remember like if we had already. Oh yeah, we had not. So I had come up with this, like I planted the seed that maybe I could get this 3 property structure deal: the doc, the book, the feature length film. And all I wanted was a letter of intent so that I could talk about it legally in the press, because I thought that might drum up more interest for the event if like different articles were writing that I was going to be involved with the sequel to Blow. It was like a marketing strategy. So her manager, who's my manager now, asked me if I could come up there and go out to dinner with them before they sign any sort of LOI. And, because Time Warner, we had to get them relinquished. I don't know. It's complicated. Anyway, I had to go out to dinner with her. San Francisco is like 6 hours away from Santa Barbara. And it's probably like 10 in the morning. And he's like, when can you be here? I'm like, I don't know. How about tonight? He's like, tonight? I was like, I'll fly up there. It ain't no thing. He's like, how about tomorrow night? I was like, okay, tomorrow. He's like, yeah, give us a night to, get prepared for it. It's like, all right, cool. So I tell Karina, I'm like, we're going to San Francisco tomorrow. And she's like, the fuck? For what? I was like, because I'm going to get the deal for the sequel to Blow. That's why. She's like, whatever. So the next day we jump in the minivan and we go up to San Francisco. It takes us 6 hours. We go up there. We probably leave at like noon. Probably get there at 7 or 8 because traffic. San Francisco has the worst traffic in the country. Worse than LA, worse than Boston. Look it up, Google it. San Francisco, California has the worst traffic in the country. I think it's LA, but it's not. It's San Francisco. So Yes, technically it's 6 hours away, but it took like 8 hours. Anyway, so we get up there. It was weird. Like they didn't tell us where we were going. They just said, come to San Francisco, come to this general vicinity, and then we'll give you more directions. I felt like I was going to a rave or something. We bought like glow sticks, like an Indian headband. I was like, this shit's gonna be bomb as fuck. Karina's like, oh my god, I'm pregnant. This sucks. So we end up getting there. And we get to some like parking garage that they had told us to go to, and then he gives us instructions. And we go to this little steakhouse, and we go in there, we meet her, we meet him. We hit it off right away. Wasn't I expected her to be different than how she was. But she's cool as fuck. And we became good friends, and we're good friends to this day. And Jose is my manager now. But we had a dinner, and basically I just talked about myself. I was like, yeah, and then there's a billboard, and I'm standing there. I'm standing kind of like this. No, wait, it's like this. Yeah, I think I'm looking like a little more to the left, but no, it's pretty dope. Yeah. Did I tell you it's in Penthouse? They're like, yeah, you've said it like 4 times. I was like, oh, yeah, well, it's not out yet, but it will be. It will be. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, how are you guys doing? So we started talking, and of course, I was asking her questions about her dad and Blow, and at the time, I don't know. It doesn't matter. I'm not going to go into her personal life, but so anyway, afterwards we hit it off. Took some pictures from that night, and we're like, all right, we got to go. Oh, and on the way, we were driving up there, and I left my wallet, so we didn't have any money. So I had to get there, and I was like, hey, man, I left my wallet in Santa Barbara. Do you think maybe like somebody could Venmo you and you could pay for dinner and then give me gas money so I can get home? He's like, yeah, that's cool. He's really cool. He sent me money a bunch of times while I was in prison. He had my back. And that's why I ultimately signed with him. And that's why he's my manager now. I don't know. He's a good guy. He doesn't bullshit. He's like one of the most honest people I know. And I'm inherently dishonest, so I need that. So as soon as we're done with dinner, I jump in the minivan and I drive all the way back to Santa Barbara. Like I drove like about 8 hours up, then 6 hours back. We get home at like 5 a.m. Karina's so pissed. Like I made her get in a minivan. I'm driving like 100 miles an hour up there and then back. She's pregnant. I'm out of my mind. The psychosis is just like really starting now. So we get there, and like I said, we get back at like 5 a.m. and she goes to sleep because she's exhausted. I mean, she slept a lot of the way home anyway. I stay up all night. Now, I think this is the second night in a row that I'd been up straight. And I go outside at probably like, I want to say 9 a.m. So I didn't sleep. I go out to smoke a cigarette. And this little Buick that looks like undercover cops, like the kind of Buick that undercover cops drive, rolls up on the street and stops and takes photos of me with like a little digital camera. And they're just stopped in the middle of the street. I'm sitting there smoking a cigarette with my shirt off and my Ray-Bans on. And I'm like, can I fucking help you? I'm about to go, do you know who I am? That whole thing. I'm looking at them. They look like feds. Now, I'd leaked the video. It hadn't gone viral. I was like, well, these things take a month or so before they catch fire. Guaranteed it goes viral. It never did. I think it got shared like 6 times on Facebook, shit like that. And like 4 of them I had like sent messages in Messenger. I'm like, hey, dude, can you share this? I was thinking it might go viral though because of that. I mean, I definitely put in the groundwork. These guys are just taking pictures of me. I'm like, hey, can I help you? It doesn't seem to faze them. So I start running towards them and they take off. I hadn't slept in a couple days and I was like, okay, that's weird. Huh. I run into Jeff's house. I go wake Karina. Remember, she hadn't had a lot of sleep because of this whole San Francisco thing the day before. I'm like, babe. She's like, what? I'm sleeping. What's up? It's like, dude, some guys in suits just took pictures of me with like a little digital camera, like the kind that like probably from the early 2000s. I don't know what that means, but it's a Buick, so I'm thinking that there might be law enforcement. Maybe it's paparazzi. You never can tell these days. She's like, shut the fuck up. Just let me sleep. I'm like, no, you need to get up right now and you need to come look. Shit's crazy. Come look. She gets her bathrobe on. She comes with me. There's no one there. I was like, I swear they were there. I don't know. Maybe they're airborne now. Keep a lookout in the sky. I don't know. Who knows? They're probably, surveying us in some sort of aerial capacity. Maybe a helicopter plane. Who knows? She's like, are you all right? I'm like, yeah. Why wouldn't I be? You don't think it's odd that these fucking agents just showed up in suits? You don't think that's weird? That's not weird to you. That's not weird. She's like, if anything's weird, it's you. You need sleep. You look like a crackhead. All you do is wear your Nike SB slides, your Ray-Ban sunglasses, board shorts, and no shirt every day. And you're in this psychosis and you think that you're like famous and you're not. And now you think that there's people after you that aren't. I was like, oh, really? Really? We get in this huge fight about it. It's like, you've never supported me. She's like, you know what? I'm over it. So she goes upstairs. So now I'm really paranoid. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's because of the tape I leaked. Because I put my PO's phone number on it. I'm like, if you feel a certain type of way about this, go ahead and call this guy's name's Brandon. Like, put his number on it. So I didn't know if like maybe I pissed him off. Maybe if I was maybe that was illegal. I just met Christina Sunshine Jung. She's Pablo Escobar's goddaughter. Her parents were in the Medellin cartel. Mirth and George were in that cartel. Maybe it's that. Who knows? But that's when the paranoia started. So it's about to be Thanksgiving. Now, I got the event going on, and I end up getting the flyers printed. And at this point, Jeff and I are fighting all the time because I'm just out of my mind. I'm accusing him of stealing Suboxone. I'm accusing him of watching me while I shower. I know you're watching. I fuck. He's like, you don't even shower, dude. What are you talking about? Well, that's true. I'm staying up. It's like I've been up like 3-4 days at this point. I'm not showering. I'm trying to make him hand out flyers with me. And the way that I'm going about it is I'm just obnoxious. I'm like, you need to come with you need to put these flyers under people's doors with me. You don't support me. You probably called the feds. He's like, dude, Ryan, you're tripping, dude. I was like, yeah, I'm tripping. Fucking slam doors. Like, it's become a nightmare for me to be there. Now, I start getting some pre-sale tickets for my event. Now I'm sharing it on all my social media. I have like 600 followers on Twitter. I'm like, hey guys, check out this event. No. Nobody favorites it. Nobody retweets it. I'm like, fuck. So I start like getting very telemarkety, and like directly hitting people up like, hey, will you buy tickets to this? So I do get some tickets and I start living off that, it's not much. People are buying like $40 tickets. I probably sold like 10 of them. I have like $400. So I'm living off that. And Karina and I get in a big fight and she takes up, she leaves. She takes off. Then Jeff and I get in a big fight and he leaves. Now, believe it or not, I'm not an independent guy. No, yes. I really am not. And I'm sure that you already know that just by how I am. I don't really know how to do like anything cooking wise. Like I know how to do ramens. I know popcorn. I know milk and cereal. I know how to make fluff sandwiches where like one side is like marshmallow fluff and the other side's peanut butter. It's healthy. That's it. That's all I know. So both of them left. So like all I'm doing is like ordering pizzas. Now, I only have PayPal. That's it. So I have to like buy gift cards from Domino. I figured out a way to do it. If you just have PayPal and you have no way of you can't like order pizzas with PayPal unless you go to like Domino's website and you buy their gift cards when they take PayPal. That's what I started doing. And that's how I was feeding myself. Then my PayPal gets frozen for some reason. I'm not sure why. To this day, I don't know why this happened. But I saw these guys in the suits, and now I'm seeing shit like this. My PayPal is frozen. So I'm by myself at Jeff's house. He's left. I don't even know where he went. Knowing him, he probably like, I'm going to go on a 3-day fasting spiritual retreat. I'm going to go on a 3-day spiritual retreat. I'm going to live on nothing but mountain air, my man. I'm going to do some soul searching. I'm going to get insights. I'm out of here. Your energy is just too damaging for me. He was like on some new age shit. I was on some like narcissistic, I'm wearing Ray-Bans, I'm wearing suits, I'm reading Forbes and shit, eating granola, shit like that. Like a stockbroker. So I'm by myself and I'm just ordering these pizzas and then my PayPal gets frozen. Now I have not been up, or I've been up for like 5 days. Mm-hmm. And I haven't eaten for like 3 and I'm still working out. Robbie lives on the same street with me. So I'm still taking like kickboxing lessons. And then like, I don't have any food. So like, I'll like be like working out. My eyes are getting big too. I have like these like perpetual big eyes now. And I'm just like, I'm in a state of psychosis, but I'm like, I have to like, I know I'm going to prison and I like have to train to fight. I want to go in there and just be a bad motherfucker, Well, I mean, at this point I'm thinking I'm beating the case. So, like Robbie will train me and like, I'll be like hitting the bag with him and then like we'll be done. He'll be like, all right, man, it was a good session. I'm like, yeah. Can I have an apple, dude? He's like, yeah. They'll like go in his place and give me an apple. I'll be like, do you have like maybe like a few? Maybe a banana? He's like, yeah, dude, here. Give me some fruit. Like he didn't. And then I'd like run back to Jeff's condo and like eat it. Like I was like a fucking squirrel. All like hungry. But it got to a point where I was starving. I was having, sleep deprivation. So I was getting super weird. And I started putting these weird like SOS messages like the government has frozen my PayPal account. I haven't eaten for 5 days, except for one apple. My girlfriend left me. My roommate's gone. And my assets are frozen. My assets, I had like $220 in my like PayPal. So like, Karina, having the big heart that she is, she orders me a pizza. Pizza comes, I devour it, I haven't eaten for like days, eat that. And I am starting to be like nonsensical, right? And I call Max, I'm like, dude, like my PayPal, my assets are frozen. Dude, I'm about to get this contract for Blow 2. I'm probably going to get 75,000. Who knows? Do you think you can get me some groceries just until my contract goes through with the Blow 2 deal? Max is like, are you serious? I was like, yeah, I really need it. Now remember, he's paying for the event. He has money in the documentary. One of my friends, Jesse, comes over. He sees the state I'm in. He's like, dude, are you on meth? I'm like, no, man, I'm just, stressed out, man. I'm working hard. Got the nonprofit. I got the event going on. I'm on all these magazines. It's, the photo shoots are pretty tiring, And at this point, I like wasn't wearing, or no, I was just wearing my slides, right? So like my feet started getting like super dirty. Like they were like black. There was like black crust on them. So Jesse's over at my house, and Max is like, "Hey, let me talk to Jesse." So he gets on the phone with Jesse, and Jesse's like, "Yeah, dude, I don't know. He needs like a benzo or something. He needs to just sleep. He can't sleep. He's just too like high strung." Plus, I'm like convinced that the feds are after me. Every day I wake up, or I'm not sleeping, but I like right as the sun comes up, I'll look out the blinds, just like I'm on crack or something, and I'm like hoping that I'm gonna see the Buick again. You know, everything's the Buick. I'm telling everybody, I'm like, dude, I saw 4 Buicks. And no one knew what I was talking about. I was like out of context, you know? So I sounded fucking crazy. So Max finally comes over, no groceries. And I'm like, where's the groceries? You know, like lost all humility. Where the fuck are the groceries? He sees me, the state I'm in. I've probably lost 30 pounds at this point. You know, I'm 180 typically. That's like my best weight when I'm in shape, 180 pounds. That's probably like 150 or 160. So I looked horrible, you know, sunken in cheeks, black, you know, rings. And I'm like, give me a benzo, you know, I mean, tweaker shit, you know? So Max like gives me a Xanax and he's like, here you go. And I eat it and it's doing nothing. You know, I'm like some like guy that's on PCP that's like, you know, thrashing. And he's like feeding me Xanax. And eventually I eat enough bars where I'm like, and I pass out. I wake up literally 2 days later. No idea what's going on. I have like 100 messages on my fucking phone. One of them's from Max. And he says that he's pulling out. He's not going to pay for the event. And he's not going to pay for the documentary. And he's sending me an invoice for the 3 Xanax he gave me. And he says, because I know you're on drugs, because Zach told me you were. I was like, what? And that's right as Max and I start going to war. And we'll get into the finale in the next video. I just want to get something to you guys. I have to bring this somewhere, you know, to upload so that you guys have something. But I appreciate you guys. And I'll try to get my, you know, try to get my Wi-Fi and everything straightened out. Don't worry. There's like 1, maybe 2. I think I can get it all done in 1 video, one this series, and then we'll be on the 3rd prison term. So you guys stop crying that your vagina's hurt. Like, comment, subscribe. Patreon.com/Ryan Leone.